All right, so we're back on part two of our review of volume and surface area of prisms, cylinders, cones, and spheres. We're looking at number six, and number six says you buy 3 candles in the shape of cylinders as shown below. How much more wax does the candle with the most wax have than the candle with the least wax? So the first thing we're going to do is find volume, because we're trying to figure out volume of a candle. That's how we can tell how much they have, right? So we need to find volume. And these are cylinders, so this is volume of cylinder. That's our problem. Our formula, and we're going to do this in terms of pi to make it a little bit easier for us to compare. Our formula is going to be V equals pi r squared times h, but we're going to multiply everything except for pi, right? So for this one, the diameter is 4, so r is 2, so we're going to say that's going to be 2 squared times 10, which is equal to, and then pi at the end. So that's 4 times 10, that's going to be 40 pi. Okay. The next one is going to be radius of 3, so that's 3 squared times 6, and then we're going to put pi at the end. So that's 9 times 6, it's 54 pi. Okay, that's the volume of this cylinder. And then this one here is going to be the radius of 4, so that's 4 squared times 4 pi, and that's going to be 16 times 4, 64 pi. Okay, so we can clearly see that the most wax is the 64 pi, the least wax is the tall candle with 40 pi. So we're going to subtract those two, and what's left over is, well, this is the largest, just smallest, and then we're going to say by a difference of 24 pi. Okay, if you were to multiply 24 pi, you would get 24 times pi, 75.3, so right, or 75 point, actually 4, because we're rounding here is 10, and that would be inches squared, or square inches. Okay, on to number 8. It says Mary wants to make several cans like the ones below. She's going to cut them from a sheet of metal that has an area, keyword, area of 3,750 inches squared. How many can she make? So basically what they're doing is they're making a net, like they're making these things, okay, where this is 6, this is 5. So we need to figure out how many of those can we cut out of the 3,750. So that means we need total surface area. That's our problem. Our formula is going to be 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. Okay? And then if we plug in our values, we know our radius is 3. So this should be 2 pi times 3 times 5 plus 2 pi times 3 squared. Okay, so we do the math on that, that's 2. When we put all in our calculator once, 2 pi times 3 times 5 plus 2 pi 3 squared. And that tells us that our surface area is 150.8 inches squared. We need to figure out how many times does that go into 3,750. So we're going to divide 3,750 by 150.8 inches squared. Okay, so 3,750 divided by 150.8. And then we need to figure out how many can she make. We have 24.8. So 24.8 or 9. That's not a complete one, so we have to cut that off. We can make 24 complete cans. So That approximates to 24 cans made. Okay, on to the next one. So on to the back page, we have, it looks like a triangular prism, and it says Angela is baking a chocolate cake in the shape of a triangular prism. She wants to frost the sides of the cake, but not the top and bottom. Not top, not the top and bottom. Okay, how many square inches will she use? So we know we need to find area, surface area, but not the top and bottom says lateral surface area. There's no basis. So we need our problem, we need to find lateral surface area of cake. So that means our formula is going to be pH, which means we need to find perimeter and we need to find height. We know the height is the space between the bases, so our height is 4. Our perimeter is going to be 7 plus 10, 6 plus 10, 6. Then we multiply and we'll get our solution. So our solution would be 21.6 plus 7, so 21.6 plus 7. Our perimeter is 28.6. We're going to multiply that times 4. And our lateral surface area is 114.4 centimeters squared. All right, number 10. How much snow, I have a snow globe with a diameter of 3 centimeters. How much water will it hold? Okay, well, snow globe is in the shape of a sphere, and if you're using your star reference sheet or not, we know a sphere, and we're talking about how much will it hold inside is volume. So our problem is volume of a sphere. Okay, our formula is 4 over 3 times pi times radius cubed. So our solution should be 4 times pi. And then we find our radius, which is half of 3. So that's 1.5 cubed. Okay, so in our calculator, we push control by 4 over 3 times pi. 1.5 raised to the third power. Our volume is going to be 14.1 centimeters cubic, or cubic centimeters. So once again, wrote our problem, wrote our formula, and then we plugged in our values, and we were able to see our solution like that, right? Number 12. I don't want to do 12. I want to do 11. Sorry. Number 11. Cylinder has a height of 8, volume of 628 cubic feet. Find the radius. So we know V is equal to H, or V equals pi r squared H. We have to solve for r. That's our problem. So our solution is going to be working backwards. We know that 628 is equal to 3.14 times 8, and then that's all times r squared. So to solve for r, we're going to treat this as an equation. We're going to first multiply this out. So that's going to be 3.14 times 8, so 3.14 times 8 equals 25.12. So I have 25.12 times r squared is equal to 628. To get rid of this, we treat this like an equation. We divide by 25.2 on both sides. And when we do that, we end up getting by 25 exactly. So 25 is equal to r squared. To get rid of the r squared, take the square root of both sides. So r is equal to 5. Okay? On to the next one. Number 12. You're painting a room that's 18 feet long, 14 feet wide, and 8 feet high. If the paint costs $6.50 a gallon, each gallon covers 128 feet squared of wall. How much will it cost to paint the 4 walls of the room? Okay, so if we think of a room, it's a rectangular prism. Um, there's 6 walls to a prism, so we're not counting the top and bottom. So that means that our height is going to be 8, and did this kind of to get the job done. Great. So that means if the height is 8, that means that this is going to be 18. This is going to be 14. Okay, so from there, we know we're doing lateral surface area. So that means lateral surface area of prism. Okay, so first we're going to find P, and P is going to be 2 times 18 plus 2 times 14. Okay, so if we do that, 2 times 18 plus 2 times 14, enter. Our perimeter equals 64. We know our height is 8, so our formula that we're going to use is equal to pH. So our solution would be 64 times 8, which gives us a surface area of 512 feet or square feet. Now, it says that a gallon covers 128 square feet, so we need to figure out how many gallons we need. So we'll divide 512 by 128, which will give us 4. So that's 4 gallons. And if each gallon costs $6.50, we multiply 4 times $6.50, and that'll tell us our total price. So 4 times $6.50 will give us 26. So our total price would be $26. Okay, so that was a lot of work, but I think that gets us through that. So we've covered all the way through question 12 on this part. We'll finish up the last 4 on a part 3. So thank you for sticking with me. If you have any questions, please comment, but be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. And until next time, thank you. Bye-bye.